Okay, my name is Jevon Langford. I'm 41 years old, and I attended Oklahoma State and played football here from 1993 to 95. I got drafted in the 1996 draft and played 6 years for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Jevon Langford is no stranger to violent sports. During his 11-year-long football career, Langford simultaneously competed in both professional football and boxing. At 6'3" and nearly 300 pounds, Langford was built for the defensive line, and his grit only added to his talents.
And today's athletes today, I don't know why they fall out like they do, because when we were playing, I don't know if we were mentally tougher or not, but we didn't, you got back up. You got back up and played. You know, with nowadays, you see a guy catch a forearm up and he on the ground shaking. I mean, the guys now, football, maybe it's faster, the guys are stronger, but it seems like they're going out a little early now.
Langford's resilient nature was admirable during his days in football. His pass rush landed him huge hits against opponents. Sadly, neither he nor his teammates knew how harmful the sport could be.
You know, one that really stands out for me would be my rookie year playing against the Atlanta Falcons. And I was young and strong and going out, and they had me on a kickoff team. And I run down the field to bust a wedge. And that's when you bust open the blocker to try to get to the ball. The returners, and I went against a guy named Ironhead Haywood. He's actually deceased now, but he was a fullback, and he was known for being a crucial blocker and runner. And I ran, and we made head-to-head contact, and that's when I started hearing a lot of ringing in my ears and blurred vision, and I lost kind of, you know, my coordination. And I went to the sidelines, but like I said, back in that time, 1996, those were called stingers. Those were called little blackouts, and they tell you to get your ass back in the game, you see? So, I mean, that was probably one of my first times of, you know, experiencing a concussion.
Nearly 20 years later, Langford is suffering the consequences of his repeated head trauma, which he says includes headaches and short-term memory loss. A brief conversation with Langford shows the results of his injuries.
So, you know, what was the question?
Langford is not alone. The NFL's negligence with proper concussion prevention and treatment was largely driven by capital interests.
Sometimes money, you know, in that position, you have no connection with human, I think. When we would look at our owner, sometimes you know, some of the D-line, we would joke and say, I bet he's looking at us like we slaves or just pieces of meat out here. You know what I mean? Because it's dollar signs on our head. It's almost like you don't see them as humans.
After retiring from the NFL in 2002, Langford went through a period of drug abuse and unemployment before eventually returning to Stillwater and jump-starting J-Rock BoxFit, his own gym where he holds boxing training classes for children and adults.
I can identify with the same way when I was 17, 18 years old in Southeast D.C. that through hell and high water, I had to make it to the NFL. I had to make it in J-Rock BoxFit. And, you know, I wasn't afraid of the word no.
Now a successful business owner, Langford's 41-year-old body is not what it used to be. With all the fame and glory of professional sports came consequences he didn't foresee.
We have to realize that we choose these jobs too. We choose to play the sport. So, you know, we choose to go out there, but at the end of the day, we don't realize what's at stake after the game.